Good morning, friends. Nice to see you. Here with Priya this morning. Whoop. There she is. Yeah, welcome. So, another day, another Dharma. However you've woken up this morning, or some of you who are not in Europe at some different moment of the day. Just that welcome that I like to give, wherever you are and however you are, welcome. And that's sort of me saying that, but it's really an encouragement to firstly check, oh, where am I? Oh, right here. And how am I? Oh, like this. And to extend a certain quality of welcome. In some ways, it's like that's a pretty full encapsulation of what Dharma practice is. Wherever I am and however I am, welcome. Because we have to find out then, where am I? We tend to think we know where we are. Oh, I'm in this place. I'm in this situation. Yes, that's the story, that's the detail. But most essentially where I am is not France or my house, or most essentially where I am is right here. And right here is a felt immediacy, right? It's not a description. The description of where I am is useful, right? We tell each other, oh, I'm in this place, I'm doing this. But then we end up believing in that description so fully that that becomes our arbiter of reality. Where am I? I'm in this place. No, it's just an idea. It's just an image. It's just a convention. It's an important one for navigating, for getting from here to there. But notice the difference when I ask you the question, right? Where are you? And you answer with oh, I'm here. Where are you? Oh, I'm here. And wherever that is. Where are you? Oh, I'm in Toulouse. Where are you? I'm sitting in London. Where are you? I'm in Cape Town. Where are you? I'm in Switzerland. It's just some of the places I saw this morning. Where are you? I'm in Stuttgart. Okay. All right. True. No argument with that. But now, just really let yourself let your attention come inside the feel of sitting here. And let that question sort of penetrate in somewhere. Where are you? I'm here. Where are you? I'm here. And let yourself feel what that means, that here. Let that here sort of echo through the dance of your bodily sensations. Let that sense of here kind of land in your feet, in the way your legs press down into your seat or into the floor. Learning, again and again and again and again, learning more and more, learning how to be here, learning what it is to be here. And that sense of welcome, letting ourselves welcome the here-ness of this moment, whether we like it or not, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable, hot or cold, home or away. Amidst all the changing vicissitudes of life, one thing is always true. You're here. Oh, it's kind of a relief to know that you're here, to allow that you're here, to welcome that sense of here, to rest into being here. And then, how are you? And how am I? Often we don't know. We say to each other, how are you? Oh, fine, thanks. How are you? Oh, yeah, well, everything okay. How are you? Oh, not bad. But actually, how are you? In the same way, if you make that same shift from I'm here as a place or a description to here, that same shift from how are you, the descriptor, I'm to just a genuine curiosity. How am I? Oh, I'm relaxed. It's a kind of very quiet, sort of simple joy, actually, to be in contact, to be present, to be simple. Also a bit sleepy still. I can feel just that kind of woolly quality behind my eyes. And I'm grateful, and I just feel my breath moving. How are you? It could be anything. How are you physically? How are you emotionally? Maybe there's something going on in your life which is sort of preoccupying you or concerning you. And that's what you're asked just to welcome. Not so much the story and the details of who's done what to whom and why and how much it cost and all that, but just, oh yeah, I'm feeling concerned and welcoming that, the state. Oh yeah, I'm really sad. That sad news I had yesterday, maybe. Oh, okay, sad, that's okay. It's like welcoming whatever's here. It's sort of like the most respectful way to be with life in any moment is to acknowledge the fact that it's like this. Right now, it's like this. So all of that is a kind of unpacking of what I mean when I say in the mornings, wherever you are and however you are, welcome. We've been exploring different terms, simple terms, one term each morning. We looked at Turiya yesterday, that sense of the ground of consciousness that underlies all the different states. And I can't remember what was the word before that on Monday. I don't remember right now. Anyway, I thought today we'd just look briefly before we meditate together at Majjhima. Majjhima means the middle way. Majjhima. And maybe you're familiar with the way the Buddha described his path of practice as the middle way. What does that mean? It means just avoiding, the way he describes it as a middle way of avoiding extremes. And that's often seen as an outer sense, like avoiding, on the one hand, indulgence, right? Just doing whatever you like. And on the other hand, asceticism, too much of a sense of being harsh. So between being luxuriant and being harsh, there's a middle way. That's the usual way it's understood. But more importantly than that, and more subtly than that, the middle way, it's more an inner middle way of avoiding landing in any kind of rigid relationship with reality. So, for example, when it comes to the sense of self, is there a self or isn't there a self? Buddhism is often equated with some idea of there is no self. What? No one's ever. That's not. Buddha's point wasn't there is no self. Buddha's point was middle way. Avoid getting caught in ideas of existence and or non-existence. One can get caught. Mostly we're caught in the sense that there is a self. Right? And we hold on to and we reinforce a sense of me. It's all about me. But sometimes in Buddhist world, one sees going from that extreme, there is a self, to the opposite of extreme. Oh, there's no self. There's no one here. The self isn't real. It's all an illusion. that's you can get just as rigid around ideas of no self as around ideas of self. But actually, the actual description of the middle way is to avoid the one and the other and both and neither. So how do you relate to that? How do you relate to a sense of self that avoids the extremes of there is or there isn't? There is a self or there isn't a self, or there is both a self and not a self, or there is neither a self nor not self. What? Encouragement actually is to find a way of abiding with the mind where you let go of your positions, where you let go of the need for a certain kind of certainty or rigidity. You let go for the need of clarity. And in letting go of that, there's a different kind of knowing, a knowing that's much more sort of full spectrum, a knowing that doesn't need to rely on thought and idea and certainty, a knowing that's not dualistic, that's not caught in there is or there isn't. We could equally just see that with the breath, right? Which is how we can maybe explore the middle way a little bit this morning. Is there a breath or isn't there a breath? What? Of course there's a breath, we'd say. Oh, the breath. Here's the breath. We focus on the breath. Be mindful of your breath, right? Feel your breath. Mindfulness of breath. But when we come into it, what do we find? We don't find something called the breath. We just find movement, right? Which bit is the breath? We say, oh, well, there's an in-breath and an out-breath. But is there? Yeah, where's the in-breath? There's just a movement and then a movement. And then another one. And each one's different. So is there a thing called the breath? Or is there just movement and sensation? So you can see how you can get, if you try to be mindful of the breath, it's like you try to rest your attention on something, as if there's something solid or real or reliable on which you can rest your attention. But there isn't, because it's always changing. And yet, if you just say, okay, there's no breath, there's nothing. There's a way that you're just sort of, you're in abandoning one limited concept, there is a breath. You're getting into another really unhelpful concept. There's no breath. Right? So what's the middle way between there is and there isn't? Right? The middle way is this sort of direct contact. Oh, this, right? I call it breath. I say breath to you, but there's a way of inhabiting it which isn't relying on the breath, on a sense of reification, of making something real or solid. Alive. Changing, dynamic, mysterious. And therefore we find we really meet life. We really meet the breath. We really meet the whole of reality. Ooh, excuse me. In putting aside our categories, our beliefs in existence or non-existence. And we find ourselves in the aliveness of things. So, please take your seat for meditation. Set up your posture. Stable and upright. Open and relaxed. Let yourself extend this quality of welcome that we mentioned. I'm here, just feeling the way you're here. Everything's here. And then as you let your attention gather and settle and feel its way into the sensations of breathing, just welcoming as much as you can, welcoming the feel of this breath, the feel of expansion in this in-breath, the feel of relaxation in this out-breath. The dynamic, constantly changing feel of being here. Revealed and expressed in the movement of breathing. Constantly shifting sensations of breath. A miracle of a body just breathing by itself. The gentle art of presence. Settling our attention into the breath. Relaxing into being here. Developing the art of presence, moment by moment. And expressing the middle way as we let go of ideas of what is and isn't, of what could be or should be. And we let ourselves just be intimate with what is. Thoughts and ideas pull you left and right. Dropping those ideas, letting thoughts dissolve, returns you to the middle way. Dissolving ideas of this and that, of inner and outer, of right and wrong, of self and world. We find ourselves in the ungraspable, infinite, mysterious world of right here. We find ourselves on the freely unfolding middle path. Each moment an invitation to be here in the breath without a concept of breath. To be here in the breathing, letting go of ideas about breathing. To be here amidst the dynamic of life, the aliveness, the dancing sensations. An invitation to relax into the natural unfolding of this breath, this moment, this life. To relax into the natural knowing, the awakeness that makes everything possible, that lights up all experience. Finding the middle way through avoiding holding on to or rejecting experience. Returning again and again to the middle way of not following various thought streams, and also not fleeing from them. A middle way that is light, open, relaxed. A middle way between doing or undoing. A middle way that knows no reaching nor rejecting. Middle way of being not too tight, not too loose. Last few minutes of the sitting. Just noticing if you find yourself holding on to some or other particular reference point. And if that, it might be possible to just soften or dissolve that reference point. To find a middle way between and outside of all ideas. So that right in the midst of these sounds, these sensations, these thoughts, there's an aliveness that's freely unfolding. That needs no interference or controlling. That invites you to relax where you are. To be in harmony with this moment. May we all know the liberation of walking a middle path. Okay. All right. That was meditation together. And there's little time for questions that you might have. So if there's anything maybe from the meditation or about the middle path or anything that seems like it might be helpful, please feel free. You can raise your hand like I think Ruth just did. You can write a question in the chat box if that's easier for you. And just a reminder before we get into all the questions that all this is freely offered. So please freely receive it and make good use. There's meditations here every weekday morning, 2 Saturdays a month, every Sunday evening, and it's all freely offered. And it takes a whole team to make that possible. And there's a lot of costs that go with that. And so your support for that is greatly appreciated and totally necessary. So you can offer dana at sangha.live/donate. The link for that is in the email that you get every morning reminding you about the morning sittings. And just to thank you for the dana that you offer. All right, let's see. Let me see. I saw that Ruth raised her hand. Now I just have to see where my chat seems to have gone funny. Let me just open the chat. Oh, there we go. Participants. It's a little complicated to find people who've raised their hands here. Oh, there we go. Ruth. I've invited you, Ruth. There we are. Yes. Just need to go ahead. I should be able to hear you now. Hi.
Hi, Martin.
Hi there.
This perfect today meditation. I have a question. It's a parenting question, really.
Okay.
And so it's so I love this. The idea between firmness and rigidity, and this is something I struggle with a lot. And so I just came straight to the meditation from a hilarious now I see scene of not middle way of me attaching to a smoothie since last night and ending up thrusting it through the car window, which was anyway. I'm sure most parents here understand that kind of scenario, but I realized that the firmness of saying no to something, for example, getting up straight away and can I watch YouTube the minute you sit down at the breakfast table, and me saying no turns so quickly because I'm just beginning to pick this apart. So I'd love some help. Turns so quickly when my firmness is felt by my son in a strong way. So I guess what happens is he holds on really tight and says, no, Mum, I'm not going to have the bloody smoothie that you made me. And then I realize my reaction to his reaction is to hold on even tighter. And that, I'm just wondering, so then that's what makes me, thrust the smoothie through the car window, etc. Not a very proud mum moment, but anyway, that's where we are. So just wondering if in that moment of going from firmness to rigidity, which I'm just beginning to feel happens, I just wondered if you had any thoughts or reflections on that kind of moment as a parent. Anyway.
Well, it's worth reflecting, right, on that. What you're identifying, there's that sense between, it's sort of like boundaries, like rigid boundaries, problem. No boundaries, problem, right? So if you absolute no, you can't, no, it's not like that, no, your own mind, no to YouTube, too tight, creates a sense of conflict. But similarly, YouTube, anything at the breakfast table, So it's not that it's like, oh, well, you should do it like this. But it's more that recognizing, too tight is a problem and too loose is a problem. Too tightly held is a problem. And then not, letting it all, letting there be no clarity or firmness is a problem. And so then it's just like, okay, how you might be clear YouTube, but I'm not down for YouTube at the breakfast table. So then it's like, okay, so how do I navigate that in a way where I'm not holding too tightly to my view and therefore expressing it too tightly to my son? No, YouTube, there's a way of like, or another way of doing that is, how can I say no to YouTube while still saying yes to him in some way?
That's great. Thank you.
We want to reject the YouTube, but that seems appropriate, but you end up rejecting the person, and then you're into the kind of conflict zone. And of course, there's no perfect way to do parenting in the mornings with teenagers, especially, or whatever age he is. It's like, that's also the avoiding the extremes. One of the extremes would be imagining that there is some way to have perfect harmony with a teenage child at breakfast. Fine, get it, right? So it's like the middle way of avoiding the idea that it should be a certain way, that there should be no conflict, that they should love their smoothie and not want YouTube.
Especially when I put really expensive chia seeds in it. That really did it for me. I can see now. I can see my attachment to the smoothie, and I can laugh at it.
All right.
But yes, thank you. That's really helpful.
See you. Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you. All right. Let's see what else is there. I'll go back up to the top. Clive. I thought I saw a question from Clive, but here we go. My chat keeps jumping around. You know what? I'm sorry. I've just got a delivery coming and I need to answer this call. So I'm going to put it on mute for a moment. Okay, friends, I'm afraid I have to leave early this morning. I've got this important delivery coming. The delivery person's lost. Nobody else is there to receive the delivery. So I'm going to bow out early. Please bring your questions back tomorrow. Thank you. Take care. Find the middle way through your day.